This is Coffee with God, and let us begin this day with the Word of God.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 23, verses 13 to 22. The passage is taken from the Message version of the Bible. I've had it with you. You are hopeless, you religious scholars, you Pharisees, frauds. Your lives are roadblocks to God's kingdom. You refuse to enter and won't let anyone else in either. You are hopeless, you religious scholars and Pharisees, frauds. You go halfway around the world to make a convert, but once you get him, you make him into a replica of yourselves. Double damned. You are hopeless. What arrogant stupidity. You say, if someone makes a promise with his fingers crossed, that's nothing. But if he swears with his hand on the Bible, that's serious. What ignorance! Does the letter of the Bible carry more weight than the skin on your hands? And what about this piece of trivia? If you shake hands on a promise, that's nothing. But if you raise your hand, that God is your witness, that's serious. What ridiculous hair splitting! What differences does it make when you shake hands or raise hands? A promise is a promise. What differences does it make if you make your promise inside or outside a house of worship? A promise is a promise. God is present, watching and holding you to account regardless. The Gospel of the Lord.
Let us now listen to a reflection on this passage by a Claretian missionary, Father Johnson Thuraikkal. Identify the Pharisee within. The Pharisees and the scribes were not always bad examples. After all, they were responsible for keeping the faith alive during times of persecution. They were indeed sent by God. This is why they were successful. They were lay people who loved God above all things and had sacrificed everything in order to ensure that the next generations would know and love the one true God. Pharisees did many very good acts, but as the time went on, they lost their identity and with that, their God-given mission. The problem, says the Evangelist, not what they did, but why they did them. To look righteous before people, and it made them hypocrites. It was for Jesus an outward expression of empty lives. That vacuum tried to inflate itself with ego, desire for admiration and praise by people. So Jesus uses harsh language to address the scribes and the Pharisees. He is accusing them of being hypocrites. They act holy but often take advantage of those who have so much less than they do. Their actions do not always exemplify what they preach. It is possible that all of us have a Pharisee within us. It would be wonderful if we always practiced what we preached. However, the reality is that at times we fail to do this. At the same time, it can be of a help to recognize how we fail and so to be more understanding and compassionate when others fail. Today's gospel forcefully reminds us that we must be careful about falling into conformity, mediocrity, and illusions with ourselves and with our world. Success is the result of fidelity. Success is good. You will know them by their fruits. But If you compromise on your principles or morals, trying to achieve it, then it will be as fleeting as a shooting star. In the book of Tobit, chapter 20, we read, "The triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment." We are all called by the Lord to move from good to great, from looking good to being good. We have to be what we claim to be. Otherwise, we will fall and fail. The life of St. Augustine, whom we recall today, who succeeded to move from fleeting joys to the true values through a transformation of life. We can be inspired by the inner transformation he went through to match his faith and life.